Hey, welcome back to another episode on Microgreens on Corey's Cave. Today we're going to talk about some new grow mats that I was given to try out, and that is Terra Fiber. They are hemp mats, and we'll get into that a little bit. Also, I'll be using some coco coir, and I'm going to be growing with nutrients and without. I've done this experiment a million times, but using the hemp mats, I thought it'd be a good idea to try and just see how they do without any sort of nutrients added. You may notice I'm working in a different area than what you're used to seeing me do. I am very limited on space this winter. I really don't have a grow room to speak of anymore. So I am in a little spot in my house that we don't really use too much. It's like one of the entryways that just nobody uses it. And so I have one rack, my refrigerator, and a little table set up. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do for the winter, I think, unless I decide to go upstairs in my garage, but that's a whole different story. So anyways, you'll notice I don't have a lot of space. I have one rack, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in just a second. So let's dive in and check out these mats. So I want to say a thank you to Terra Fiber for hooking me up with these hemp mats, giving me a chance to try them out. That's really cool of them to do. These are the mats that they gave me. And they're a little bit different than what I'm used to because they have this like paper binding on the back, which I think just is how they keep the mat from falling apart. They are quite thin, and that's one of the issues I'm going to talk about. Is I think they might be a little bit too thin, and I will be giving that feedback to Terra Fiber as well, see if they want to do something about that, or maybe they are happy with them as they are. I did look these up on Amazon. They are reasonably priced. Depending on how many you buy at a time, you can get fairly close to the $1 per tray mark, which is not bad. When I'm growing with soil, $1 per tray is usually my target price or expected cost. Coco coir is even less than that, depending on how you buy it. I'm using Mother Earth coco coir. Right now, this is a fully expanded bag. I normally buy this in block form and then expand it myself, which is a lot less expensive. But again, being in my small grow area, I don't really have the room for that, and I don't really want to deal with it, so I don't mind paying a little bit extra just for the ease of growing it like this. And so what I did with these mats is I put a mat in a tray without holes, watered it just to get them, good and damp, but you don't want them like floating or soaked. Sprinkled on my seeds, stacked them the way I normally would for about 3 days, and then I unstacked them, and I'll show you a few pictures right now of what it looked like when I unstacked them all. These have been under lights now for a couple days, and this is the arugula on coco coir. Just straight coco coir so far, no nutrients added, nothing like that. And these are looking really, really good. Really happy with these. Down here, we have the same exact arugula, but it is on the hemp mats, the Terra Fiber hemp. And it looks okay. Not crazy about it. At least 2 of these mats and at least 2 of these coco coirs will be getting nutrients on their next watering, which will be tomorrow morning. That's going to make a big difference, but I can tell you already that right now the coco coir is winning out pretty big time, which is surprising to me because it's not like they've been drying out or nothing like that. I've been keeping them nice and damp, but they just do not look nearly as good. But that could change, we'll see. Down here is something not related to this experiment really, but this is just some broccoli on coco coir, some radish on coco coir, some peas with coco coir. And this is actually more dramatic than the arugula. So this is China rose radish on the hemp fiber mats versus coco coir. And the difference is pretty substantial. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had to like question, did I really plant these at the same time when I know for a fact that I did? Like, what else could have been different? There's no difference. They were both stacked. Same exact thing. I don't get it. I'm just surprised. I thought the hemp would have done a lot better than this, but like I said, I am definitely not writing off the hemp yet. I want to see what's going to happen in the next few days. All my seeds come from True Leaf Market. You probably already knew that. Here is the nutrient solution that I've been using. And if you're interested in any of the products you see in this video, there will be links in the description. Let's see what's going on here. So the top rack here is coco coir. 2 of these trays have nutrients. 1 does not. Can you guess which one doesn't have nutrients? I'd say it's pretty obvious. So one of the reasons I did this experiment was to see if there's a difference with the mats using nutrients or not. Another reason I did it is because no matter how many times I've put out content showing the drastic difference, people still think that, you know, I don't think they've ever tried it themselves, but they've read an article or they heard that you don't need nutrients for microgreens. It's just not true. Look at this. Nutrients on the right, no nutrients on the left. Watered the same time, same days, same amount. Grown in the same coco coir. Just a huge difference. So anyways, these I'm going to be harvesting tonight. These are 2 trays of arugula. This one I'm going to start feeding nutrients now, and hopefully I can get those to pop a little bit better because those leaves are just too small. In my opinion, that's not really a high quality microgreen. So let's get to the mats. Now these mats, like I said, they were planted in trays with no holes. Well, today I noticed that they were too wet. So in the middle, I was getting what looked like probably some root rot. I could tell just by the way the arugula was starting to look, not by the roots themselves. And so I transferred them all to trays with holes and then trays without holes at the bottom. See if I can pick up this mat a little bit, give you an idea of what it looks like underneath. You can see nice strong root growth that does grow through the mat really well. It looks like that that paper bonding material or whatever they were using at the bottom has dissolved, disintegrated or something. And so they look okay. Same experiment as above. These 2 trays here have nutrients added to them. This one does not. There's definitely a big difference, but it's not as drastic as the coco coir. But honestly, I'm not crazy about either of these. I think when I try these mats again, which I'm going to plant on them again tonight, I'll start off with a tray with holes and just see. Maybe they'll do better if the roots aren't just sitting right at the bottom of the tray and they can go down into the next tray a little bit and pick up nutrients or water that way. It should be easier to keep the mats from getting too wet. I put too much water in last night because they were starting to dry up, and I got concerned that I hadn't watered them enough, and so I watered them too much. It's just one of those things, but yeah, the mats work okay, but they're just, I don't think they're anywhere near as good as the coco coir. But that could be, you know, some trial and error. I'll give them another shot, try out something else. But we have more stuff growing. Here's some broccoli. It's in coco coir. Here's some radish in coco coir. Here's some more radish in coco coir. Next to radish that is just on the mats. I can tell, and I watered these with nutrients from day one, both of these. Now the coco coir does look better. There are much bigger leaves on the radish on the coco coir. But compared to the arugula, I think that the mats did really well with the radish. I don't see an issue really at all. They're slightly smaller than the coco coir, but they look just fine to me. I haven't picked this mat up yet to see what it looks like underneath. Let's see if we can get in here without ruining anything. Oh yeah, nice and white. These look great. The radish is also a little bit more tolerant of having, you know, too much water. You don't want too little water, but they can handle it a little bit better than the arugula. The arugula is kind of it can be kind of finicky. And then I have some pea shoots growing just in coco coir. These are doing pretty good. I think that's gonna do it for this video. Not a whole lot to show, but I think there's some pretty good results. You know, you can really tell the difference between nutrients, no nutrients, coco coir versus hemp mats. I think I have some good feedback to give TerraFiber on what I thought of their grow mats. Hoping that I like them better with using a tray with holes and one without and just watering on the bottom. Probably will have to keep the mat damp while I do that for a little while and just until the roots really start getting down on the bottom. But that'll be a little bit of an experiment. We'll see how that goes. If you enjoyed this video, if you like videos like this, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, definitely let me know. Thanks for watching.